Hello everybody, Zest here and welcome back to HOI4. In today's video we're going to be doing a guide to the achievement We Will Rock You. But before we begin, I should note that recently was the 1 year anniversary of uploading videos to this channel, and that is... wow. I just didn't expect to still be uploading at this point, so it's a real surprise. So throughout this next week, we'll be doing some other little specials to mark the occasion, including another anarchist run, which will be quite exciting. And yes, I know, the actual anniversary was on February 22nd, which I have missed, but I couldn't upload that week. I'm sorry, there were circumstances outside of my control. But anyway, We Will Rock You. Let's begin. With our research slots, standard electronics and industry, and so on from here. Make sure you create an intelligence agency, always very useful. For our civs, we'll just be building more mills in the south. For our actual mills and dockyards, just spam guns and convoys. There's no need to exercise the army, as it's very, very disloyal to us. But we may as well exercise the Air Force, because some of it will stay behind. Anyway, for focus, let's do the Popular Front. And for our Navy, gather it up in two different stacks. The first stack will be in Acaronia, and the second stack can stay where it is. So merge. There we go, two little stacks. Anyway, that's everything in place, so now we can finally go to speed 5 and begin. With the Popular Front done, we have the choice between which Guardia we want to control. In my opinion, there is only one option, the Guardia Civil. More units, more stability, and then being poorly trained is not a downside, due to the way the Spanish Civil War works. And here we are, the Spanish election of 1936. This begins a little game of how much control Spain can either side get. For us, the main things we want to do is maximise our concessions to the left and do as many political arrests as we can. Annoyingly, this is completely dependent on what the nationalist AI does, so if you get really unlucky and they do too many strike suppressions, restart. If they don't do enough political assassinations, restart. You get the idea. I mean, right now what they're doing is sway leader loyalty, which is okay, if not annoying. Something you might want to have on hand is a calculator, whether that's on your phone or somewhere else, because if you have enough political power to try and contest a state, you should, but you also want to have enough political power to do one of these decisions at all times. Keep in mind also that some focuses give political power, like these final three. Anyway, the nationalists are now doing a Prima de Rivera speech. The main annoying of this one is that it takes away our political power. Now, we want to control pretty much all of Spain, apart from the states that the nationalists gain from secure the northern garrisons, with the exception of Western Aragon, which we do want to control. Western Aragon is our backup plan. If we really struggle to take the nationalists, this will ensure the Carlists will rise up to give us a break. So Prima de Rivera will take away 15 political power, but that will still leave us with enough to arrest him, so we're going to expand our control in Sevilla. It's a massive calculating game right now. We're going to contest here to try and waste some nationalist political power. We'll be gaining 23 political power in the amount of time we have, so we have just enough to contest. And political assassination, very good, we've gotten lucky. Another political assassination, great, we can pretty much go against the nationalists trying to get states now. Eventually they should run out of political power. The CDA campaign chest only gives them 200. And then we only have two states we need to gain control of, Cordoba and Western Aragon. For Western Aragon we need all 3 ticks, but I think for Cordoba we can live with 2. And time is up. Which side will we go for? The working man or the communal revolutionary struggle? I think it's going to be the bravery of the working man. Sorry, Republicans. The focus at this point, armour workers, militias. We got pretty lucky actually, we control all the south. There are some units encircled, but we can definitely deal with that. So, who's prepared for a lot of prep? We're going to start off by grabbing 10 units to do some naval invasions. There we go. This first unit from Valencia will go to the Balearic Islands. If there's a unit in Malaga, or close enough, we will send it into Ceuta. This one. And this unit will go all the way to the Canary Islands. Now, from what I've seen in No Step Back, the Balearic Islands should be defended, the Canary Islands shouldn't be, and Spanish Africa is variable. So if you get rejected, just try again. But anyway, for the remaining 7 units, they're going to be hitting Vigo and La Coruña. Now, it'll be very important for us to get these tiles, because if La Coruña is usually the tile that will give us victory. This is what the invasion of La Coruña will look like. Some of these tiles will be free, like Vigo and the tiles around A Coruña, but A Coruña will be defended. Anyway, the units in the north, 10 of them. Okay, that's alright. They'll defend something like this. We'll have these units pin. We'll have this unit walk into Burgos. We'll have this one extend. But we're also going to have a naval invasion order planned so we can assign a unit there at a different point. Now, I didn't make a field marshal because, believe it or not, we don't actually have a need of a field marshal right now. So right now, they'll just have no field marshal going all the way towards La Coruña. Aggressive, go. But of course, gather up everyone else under that field marshal's order. Now, the only generals I think you'll lose is Janos Gilaz and maybe Enrique Lister. I can't remember what his loyalties are, but feel free to use literally everyone else. Unfortunately, just like in the first run of this, I've lost for Gente Royo Lodge, the best general that the Republicans get. Glorious. Of course, if you have units like this, do not forget to pin and attack them. Anyway, for us, we're going to use our units that we have to try and walk around and extend and so on. Just keep using your units to move forward, use other units to pin. So like these units here will pin, this unit will move forward to try and encircle them around in Navarra. We need a lot of units just to keep moving forward. You've just got to keep moving at this point. The main thing for us is just to try and encircle and grab victory points before the front lines solidify. Don't forget about the Air Force though, it's small but it can still be useful. The Navy should be on strike force, something like this. But we can also have this small little stack breaking up and a convoy raiding, because why not? Anyway, let's take the speed down and do this, because we've got it all to do in the Spanish Civil War, so no pressure. You really should railroad your units to the front line from 6 o'clock. You can also train up probably around 17 or 19 units. These can just be deployed at any time. And have your naval invasion units be ready to go as soon as possible. There we go, we've got an encirclement on Salamanca. Now continue to move forward. Looks like we've accidentally given ourselves a pin here, but whatever, we'll make something, and Burgos falls. Oh, and Valladolid has been left free, so we can do a pin meme ourselves. Not a big fan of them, but whatever. Means to an end, I suppose. You really just need to keep moving at this point. The more encirclements we get, the more confused the AI will be as well. The AI doesn't really know how to react to encirclements that well. And there we go, Valladolid is ours. Oh, and the AI wants to do a pin meme, but luckily we defeated that. This is going very well so far. We can already march on Leon. Yeah, Oviedo is probably going to fall, but whatever. And the front lines have solidified. They will always do this. My preference at this point will be something like Salamanca, but let's see what the Nationalists will do. Never mind, I couldn't see it. Oh no, they chose Burgos. Fair enough. Anyway, naval invasions have left. Oh, and hey, you destroyed 5 convoys there. Oh, we lost Oviedo. Unfortunate. Find 1 unit to back up naval invasion, have it be ready to go at any time. So far this has gone quite well. There is a victory point in Pamplona, but not much we can do about that, as you can probably tell. Funny, the AI was actually leaving La Coruña, but we've pinned them. Oh well. Wouldn't matter, because the AI volunteers are on their way. So we're going to try and encircle La Coruña. Anything we could do to force the AI to leave it is going to be the most important thing for us. And there you go, there's the AI volunteers. The Italian ones are here, and the German ones. Oh, and a Belgian unit, because of course there is. Now we must cancel this naval invasion, so that the AI will move. And hopefully they should all leave. And we can start our other naval invasion and hopefully take La Coruña for ourselves. It's all a bit RNG, unfortunately. Oh great, the volunteers are doing what the volunteers do, and they're stacking the tile of La Coruña. My favourite. Well, it looks like the AI has left La Coruña again. And we've taken it. Is that enough? It actually shouldn't be, according to the AI. But we're at 98% now, so what does that mean? It means Oviedo is the goddamn capital. But here's what we do about that. We wait. Tiles are worth like half a victory point, so we need to take a tile now. And there you go. We took enough extra tiles to finish up. April 6, 1937. Not the quickest I've done, but that is more than good enough for me. It's over. Great. Now we just wait for the anarchists to rise up, because they are inevitable. Anyway, let's hire ourselves. Where is it? Silent workhorse. Now we're going to do international brigades in the Stalinist doctrine. International brigades, the longer it's active, the more we get the bonuses. Portugal do support the Spanish nationalists, and they'll also use those volunteers to stack La Coruña. If Portugal sends volunteers, it's a massive pain and you'll bleed a lot of manpower. That's what I was trying to avoid. Military conscription at this point is actually quite useful, as we have corps on all of Spain. We'll lose some corps once the civil war is declared over, and that's only when the anarchists are defeated, by the way. And now time for army of all classes. If you're still fighting, obviously someone like Reaffirm the Popular Front strategy and for anti-fascist unity is useful, but usually I expect to not need it at all. Anyway, it's 35 days until the anarchists rise up, so we're going to improve relations with Germany and Italy for Lend-Lease. You don't need to do the Soviet Union, as everything you can do, military access and non-aggression pact and the Stalinist doctrine, will give you more than enough relations for them to help you. Of course, the Soviet stockpile is diminished from the old days, but still useful. Oh no, it's the anarchists! What could we have done about that? Oh no! Don't know why the anarchists are in parts of Spain and they were never actually in, but oh well. This is a benefit to us. We're going to gather up a full army and put it on the front line against the anarchists. Something like that. At this point you can really just choose whichever general you want for this, but I'm going to use... Anyway, I'm going to use Jose Maya. Why not? Go on the anarchist front line. Don't accept Soviet volunteers, you don't need them. But since it has started, you can get Lend-Lease from the powers that be once you have a deficit, so get a deficit. And have, obviously, low priority and... Oh, what do you know, they'll help us, despite the fact they were against us a few months ago. Not that I'm complaining. Refresh your Lend-Lease every month until we're done, basically. Anyway, we're going to get to the anarchist front line and allow them to entrench. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. Now that Jose Maya is here, we're going to activate on aggressive and just smash our head against the front line. You'll see very quickly he's going to gain traits like Organizer, Hill Fighter and so on. We're just going to milk the anarchists for traits. I would do this with the Gente Royo Lolch, but we lost him to the Nationalists, so Jose Maya it is. Royo is better as he's a brilliant strategist, but any general will do. So once they've attacked for a little while, what we'll do is this, stop, so they can rebuild org and anarchists can get more entrenchment, and we go again. There we go, we could just do this until we don't need to. We're going to do socialist intellectuals and solidified government control X. The extra research slot is more useful than flipping ideology. Do offensives when you want to, but of course, there is benefit to keeping unplanned offensive as it allows us to grind. Infantry and division recovery rate, pretty nice. But good, we finally had enough XP for a doctrine, and there's only one. And here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Jose Diaz. Anyway, for focus, we may as well do something like re-educate the bourgeoisie and the Spanish Red Army for that XP and land doctrine boost. Nationalising the industry now is probably useful because stability is already rubbish for us anyway. And also it's August, so we can now improve relations with Hungary. They'll be flipping ideology soon, and fuss will help us. And it's over. We have won. In more ways than one. I present to you a level 7 general in 1938. Look at this. Organised, infantry leader, trickster, skilled staff, the hill fighter, mountaineer, adaptable. You know, I think we've got ourselves a good field marshal now. The Spanish Civil War is perfect for unit grinding. Just look at these. Veterans everywhere. Damn. Give whatever traits you want. If it was Royo Lurch, it'd be aggressive assaulter, but for us it'll be logistics wizard, offensive doctrine, charismatic, and to upset someone, I'm sure, adaptable. Let's deploy these final units. And how much did we get? Got ourselves 26k guns, 103 units. Okay, so we need 17 units. That's fine. Let's also make our ideal template now, because I should have done that a little sooner, but whatever. In the old days, this is what I would have taken, but in these days, this is what we're going to do. 21 width with 1 artillery, and we'll change those engineers to cavalry recon. There we go. Not the best, not the worst, but most importantly, will do the trick. Right now for focus, we could do increased arms production, but I'd rather do Soviet recovery aid. Now we need to be in the common turn right now, but unfortunately, we need world tension because of this. But don't worry, that's easy to deal with. Just need to do this. There we go. Now world tension is too high, and we're in the common turn. So, that didn't really stop us for very long, did it? You could farm with multiple generals, leaders, if you wanted to. That wouldn't hurt. You could definitely get a few more organisers, mountaineers and so on, but it also pays just to do it on one general and get basically the perfect general. Oh, and goodbye. Being in the common turn gives us access to this entire focus tree. Probably won't do all of it, but provide for the people and collectivise an industry is definitely useful. So also only ended up with 6,000 guns. Not the best since the Soviet Union couldn't help us, but oh well. If you really wanted to, just keep going. You'll get plenty of guns from these three. Anyway, 150 political power, worker conditions, and anti-demo raid, so we can get 1.4 stability a week. Great. Oh my, he's now also a 10 attack. This man breathes and people fall over. It's actually a well-rounded general too. 6 defense, 3 skill, and 4 supply. Honestly, you could ask for worse. Well, we could give this guy at least 5 rolls. I think I'll go for army logistics. That's the one we don't have right now. The one focus you must do though is Red Bulwark in the west, because you have to be in the common turn to do it. So the last thing you want to be is locked out. Send one army to defend the colonies, the Balearics, the Canaries and so on. The second army will be eventually on the Pyrenees and against Gibraltar. This army is just holding back, and this one is too. Due to supply from losing cores, it's all a bit mad right now over there. And there's Danziger War. Right, let's prepare to invade the UK. We'll send our spies there. I have their cipher broken, well, almost. It's ready to go at any time. For the naval invasion, we'll do my favourite. 2 units around Bristol and Cardiff, and that should do. The UK does defend it a bit more these days, but again, should do. Worst case, you can always get military access from Germany and invade from Wilhelmshaven to Hull and Newcastle. We don't need much war score, all we need is to take Gibraltar. But you know, if we get more war score, that will be useful. And down goes Poland, so let's prepare to justify on France. My favourite for this is French Guiana, because we won't lose that justification even when Vichy is formed. And it's time. Let's put our navy on strike force. Bay of Biscay and western approaches, and declare on France. We're probably going to lose the supremacy in the Bay of Biscay, but oh well. It's a bit of RNG whether or not we'll get it. But right now, we're going to try and see what we can do in Africa. Yep, 25% shock. Oh well, at least the UK has almost left Gibraltar empty. We could just pretty much just push them away soon enough. And we've seized Gibraltar. What a mess. Well, we finally got supremacy. And interception at the same time. I bet you anything that this unit is one of the ones that's going to a port. Called it. Typical. Typical from the AI. Well, let's break that cipher to give us the one benefit we can still get. Well, they tried, but we got in. Eventually. Right, let's summon the rest of the army and see what we can do. And we got Cardiff in the end. Good. And there they all are, so let's go. Plan as usual is to encircle London to farm war score. But we already have 9%, which could be enough. But who knows. Now we just push out. Yeah, I did say I'd want to farm war score, but just as often, I kind of like the idea of actually just finishing up the war. Means to an end. So you know what, let's see what will happen. And hey, we get the supply hub of London. Well, we're going to finish up around 27% of the war score, which is more than good enough. Encircling London and destroying units will probably give you enough to lead the conference. But I guess I've done that so many times, so maybe it will be fun to do something different. And there you go. The main thing we're here for, Gibraltar, let's take it. And whatever else we take is just a bonus. As always though, you can do the cheap puppets by taking all states and untaking the cheapest one and puppeting whichever country you want there. In the UK's case, that's usually Pitcairn Island. Yeah, that will do it. We actually got 41 states in the end, Germany 69, Hungary 1, because Germany border-gored me with South Africa, so I border-gored them with Hungary. It's Zalzi, but Hungary. But we got the Spanish Raj, we got Sumatra, Java, and most importantly for our cause, Gibraltar. Well, I think this is the end of all of that. This has been a fun relook of We Will Rock You. It's always a fun little time when we come back to Spain. As many of you know, I play a lot of Spain. They even call me the Spanish Civil War King, don't you know? But yes, at some point this week, we'll also be returning to do another anarchist run, which will also be very fun. But I thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Leave any suggestions in the comments below for future videos. I'm always looking for new video ideas. But from me, Zest, doing We Will Rock You. Goodbye.